what's up everyone? Marc Lobliner, TigerFitness.com, Machine Militia. Check it out, man. So today is my daughter's 9th birthday party. That's her 9th birthday. She's turning 9 today. 9 years old. That's a real like little person, man. It's not just a little baby anymore. You know, she can reach the dishes on her own, microwave her own chicken breast. I mean, she's on the road to greatness. She's a straight A student. She excels in sports. I am so proud of my daughter. And you know, it's funny, not really funny, haha, but it's funny. I was talking to someone who I become close with, who's actually related to somebody I'm close with. And she recently had the father of her daughters pass away. And I just sent a note, make sure everything's okay. And she said, you know, it's weird because I try my best to be a good mother and now I have to be a father too. And that got me to thinking. You know, I'm old school, a bit chauvinistic, you might call it, where I think that the household is better balanced when there's a strong woman and a strong man within the household. And I think we've kind of lost touch of that in this society where men are afraid to be men. Men are afraid to assert themselves. Men are afraid to be parents. Now, in the pecking order of nature, in my opinion, at least with all my friends, you know, with everybody I know with children, essentially the children are going to show more respect and fear and admiration for the fathers in a lot of situations. So having that father figure to come in and show people the way of how a man should be, or also show women how men should act, so to speak, by leading by example and setting good examples for their kids. That's tantamount in building a family unit and building a healthy family. And, you know, one thing I'm looking at is imagine like, you know, I was fortunate enough where both my parents stayed together. They probably shouldn't have, but they stayed together my entire life. And I'm not saying that it can't work. Like, let's say, look, the divorce rate's at 60%, right? It is what it is. It's pretty damn high. It's somewhere in there, 50 to 60%. And I'm not saying that that's something we should stay together if it's unhealthy, but the father should always maintain a role within the household to take care of his children. And that's the most alpha thing you can do. In my opinion, the man's role within the house is to provide, and not just provide financially, but provide emotionally, spiritually, and in whatever way you can, and support his family in whatever ways can, be the protector, whatever it means. And in this day and age, it just seems that the male has been kind of slapped down to just being a little bitch. And there's nothing wrong with the man of the house being the man of the house. Does that mean that you should control things? Does that mean that you should be disrespectful to your spouse or your kids? Does that mean that you should whip your kids? No. What that means is that there's nothing wrong with being the man of the house. There's nothing wrong with being old school like that. There's nothing wrong with being respectful to women. There's nothing wrong with opening doors for women. There's nothing wrong with being a gentleman. And what I'm seeing, and I've referenced this so many times, so many times on YouTube about Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, is the lack of respect for women, is the comments. And I mean, back in my day, I mean, look, a true player would never say that, because first of all, you're never going to get asked talking like that. A true player would never go, would smash out of 10, or wow, I want you to sit on my face. Are you fucking kidding me? That's disrespectful not only to the women involved, that's disrespectful to everybody. That's just a stupid thing to say. And it really shows your level of maturity, and it shows the breakdown of the man in the society. Men have become such little fucking pussies. Dude, if I had a friend, let me put it this way. If my boy Sean, not Sean Torbati, okay? My boy, let's say I rolled with him in high school. My boy Sean would have said that because we didn't have Instagram. If we did, if I saw him post that on Instagram, my boy Beto or Elias or all the guys I hung out with, or Ronnie, any of those guys, if I would have seen them post online, if we had Instagram, which of course we fucking didn't because I'm old. If I would have seen them post would smash out of 10 or please sit on my face, I would literally walk up to them as a man and punch them right in their gosh darn face. I would punch them in their face for being a little beta piece of shit. And I'm seeing that kind of translate into society, into how men take care of their shit. They're nameless, faceless. They don't confront. You know what I mean? They're just buried behind a computer, just talking all this shit. A real man takes care of his shit. A real man takes care of his family. A real man raises children like a man should raise his children, instilling his values and also showing that there's nothing wrong with being alpha. I want my daughters to take those values. I want my daughter to take those values, that there's nothing wrong with being alpha and asserting yourself. And if you feel strongly about something, it's one thing I respect about Dr. Lane Norton is when he feels strongly about something, you know, he goes after it and he will basically fight tooth and nail to prove his point. I want to be able to raise children to have that conviction. And, you know, so what I'm saying is there's nothing wrong with being the man of the house. I know that might be frowned upon by feminazis and all those crazy people who go and think that men should be pussies. But there's nothing wrong with being fucking man, being a fucking man. And I'm sorry, I get accused of not being alpha for saying the word alpha, but there's nothing fucking wrong with being alpha. And there's nothing non-alpha about opening the door for women or treating women with respect. There's nothing non-alpha about cuddling your kids. There's nothing non-alpha about driving a minivan and taking your kids to soccer practice. That's the most alpha fucking thing you can do because you're taking care of your shit. Okay, you're protecting your family. You're providing for your family. That's an alpha. So as the man of the house, that doesn't mean that it's all mine. No. We share things, right? Okay, my kids are more important than anything. I want them to have everything in the world. But at the end of the day, my role as a man, you know what? Hasn't changed since the 1960s. We have changed a lot as a society as far as what we are accepting of things, which is a good thing. But the one thing that hasn't been positive is the breakdown of the male. And also the pussification of males and an anonymity of males to be able to talk shit and not get their ass whooped. So you know what? Nothing's wrong with being the man of the house. And I reflect on this, looking at my 9-year-old daughter, and I really and truly hope I instill those values in her, that there's nothing wrong with being alpha. And there's nothing wrong with her being the woman of the house and running shit. And she's going to be a CEO. She's going to be a pro soccer player. I don't care what she does, but whatever she does, she's going to be fucking alpha doing it. I'm Marc Lobliner, TigerFitness.com. Because being the man of the house beats being the bitch of the ditch. And that's not a game.